guys. So I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on Money in the Bank 2024 as we just finished watching it. I wanted to give it a few days just because I wanted to complete my thoughts about the things that I liked, the things I didn't, and just my overall feelings about the pay-per-view. Yeah, we're gonna try to go in order here. So let's start with the men's Money in the Bank match. First off, I'm kind of okay with Drew winning, but at the same point, I also feel like we wasted the Money in the Bank contract. But as a friend told me, we can't always have the same result happen over and over and just have that anticipation of the same thing over and over again. So I get that. And I also understand that we need to progress the storyline between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. So while the result was predictable, it would happen later in the night, you have to absolutely appreciate the work that they went into making you believe that Drew wasn't going to win. There was absolutely a lot of notable spots here. We had the Spanish fly, well, there was like a reverse Spanish fly onto the ladder with Andrade and Carmelo. We had some spots where Drew McIntyre pretty much just used the ladder to hit people off of the ladder, which was cool. The spot with LA Knight was crazy. Just him being thrown and then hitting really, really hard. Oh man, I felt that. But yeah, obviously we got Drew McIntyre winning, so that's, expected, as we would later, see this turn out much, like I said, very predictably. But at the same point, we also have to, applaud them for even following our prediction of what would happen. Just because, again, you have a story, you have to do the story justice, and it was the only way you could do it. Then following this match, we had Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn. Now this match I really, really enjoyed a lot because I think we're very much expecting it to be a squash match, and what I really enjoyed is it wasn't we know that Braun Breaker is going to get the title at some point. It's just very apparent, but it felt like this was a really worthy challenger for Sami Zayn, and at the same point, he also felt as though Braun Breaker finally had a worthy opponent, because he was always doing squash matches or just always beating on someone. So it was nice, it was refreshing to see Braun Breaker get what he deserved in a way, and also at the same point still looks very strong. After what we saw, what transpired later on Monday, this feud is not over, which I'm all for this feud because it's just really entertaining. And I'm also enjoying the fact that Sami Zayn isn't looking weak. He overcame Gunther, and we're finally getting Sami Zayn just looking like a champion. And at the same point, I remember Sami Zayn being Intercontinental Champion during the COVID days, and he faced against AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy and stuff like that. But I feel like it's a different run this time around, because he's not, like I said, he's not the underdog, and he's really not. He was the underdog when he faced Gunther, but now it feels more like he's absolutely on par with all the other champions, and he should be, because, he beat Gunther, so he shouldn't be losing or whatever. And I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy about his creative direction right now, is that Sami Zayn is being marketed like a champion, and we're returning the legitimacy of the Intercontinental Championship. I know, yes, we did that with Gunther and having him be the longest running one, but this feels like a good follow-up from that, and at the same point, I'm looking forward to whoever Sammy faces next after Braun, if he's still champion, because I don't think we need to have a really lengthy run with Sammy, but it does certainly feel like what we're doing is what they used to do, which was Intercontinental Championship leads to a World Championship someday. So I'm hoping that that happens here. I also really liked how both men, sold each other's offense. Like, there was a couple spots where Braun would attack Sammy and it would look absolutely devastating, but Sammy would do something even more on par with that, and it would just it would look like he just destroyed Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker never really had an opponent like that, especially when he kicked him, with the Helova kick. Like, the way that Braun sold that was just chef's kiss. And then we come to the sad inevitability that we knew would happen someday. John Cena announces his retirement and announces that he's going to be in Elimination Chamber. He's going to be in Royal Rumble, and he's going to be at Mania. Though we would learn later in the press conference that he's going to try to do a full year. So, yeah. But I knew that was going to happen just because, the t-shirt really told it all. The last time is now. And I have to get that shirt just because, man, I grew up with John Cena. When I was a kid, I idolized John Cena a lot, and I idolized the character, and I really enjoyed, just really following his journey. And yeah, I was still a fan of him, even in, the 2010s and stuff like that, when his character was just kind of becoming stale and everything. And I just love John Cena because of the fact that, John Cena took everything people threw at him and was like, oh yeah, you only have 5 moves to do. And then, when he was United States champion, he was like, alright, hold my beer. It was amazing. The transitions that he did, and even when he feuded with CM Punk, it was amazing. I really hope we get that match at least one more time. I also believe that the one person who should retire him is absolutely Randy Orton. If anything, I would even say Orton should go out too. They go out together. That would be really fitting, but Orton still says he's got a few more years in the tank. We'll see, but yeah. It was a tearjerker to see John Cena talk about this stuff, just because you always know that your heroes are eventually going to retire and stuff like that, but you just don't want it to happen, but you know that it has to happen. And I'm glad that we're going to get him for a full year. That's really awesome, and I hope that he's just properly booked, and that, he's not going to be squashed all the time, or that he's just, I know he's going to want to be, enhancement talent, but I do want for him to win something, and I would love if John Cena became a Grand Slam champion, but I don't know that we'll get that, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. He doesn't need to, but it would be nice. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this final year of Cena coming up in January. Yeah, January. And, I absolutely will probably cry when, he hangs it up. It's crazy. We never think that'll happen, but eventually it does. And, yeah, I'm glad that I got to watch almost all of the eras of John Cena. I didn't really watch 2002, 2003, 2004, but I did start rewatching again in 2005. So I did see when he was champion already, and it was nice to see the matches where he in the past, the Doctor of Thugonomics stuff, and like actually be able to rewatch all of that. It was absolutely rewarding to see like how hard he worked to be where he's at, and I think that John Cena is going to do great in being an actor. He's very, very funny. He's very good at comedy. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what he does next. But I'm wondering if he's going to do serious stuff at some point too, just because the way that he talks, like in interviews or just like to people, he just has a lot of heart, and he has a lot of like clear thoughts when he speaks. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So following our announcement with John Cena, we have Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. I actually really enjoyed this match, and I felt like this really built the character of Damian in terms of being a champion. I think that, like, the one thing, though, that they need to do is they need to move him away from this storyline with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and all that stuff, and I think we are going to do that. It feels as though the clock is ticking on the heel turn of Judgment Day on him, and I think it's going to be a beautiful thing when it happens, and I'm hoping it leads to Finn Balor versus Damian for the World Heavyweight Championship. I really do. One thing I will note, I don't know if anyone else felt this way or if, like, noticed this, but is it me, or does Seth Rollins feel like he's gonna be heel again? Like, even his presentation changed with like his music. Well, not his music, but like his entrance way, and you know, the graphics and stuff like that. They're different. They're not the other visionary stuff he had, and it felt to me like Seth is like reverting back to like the Architect, or like a modified version of that, like a evolution of that. I feel like he's going through another evolution, and I felt like even in his gear, it was reflecting that like his old ways were bleeding through. You know, it's like the darkness and the light with the white gear. You know, like it looked to me like that's what's happening, and even they were commenting that Seth is much more aggressive, and then his moveset's different a little bit, and I feel like that's something you gotta do with Seth Rollins. I feel like the visionary stuff was necessary for everything that he was doing, but I feel like coming back and everything, Seth to me is like the modern day Chris Jericho, where he just constantly reinvents himself and reinvents what Seth Rollins is, and I really enjoy that, and I hope that that's what's happening, because like, I don't know, he doesn't seem like the visionary character to me. Like, he doesn't. It just feels like another evolution of him, and I'm very much looking forward to what that is. I did feel bad, and they were having a lot of production error that night with, you know, the hissing from the audio from the commentary or just anything else, and it definitely was a production cue error, because the way that Seth, when he hits the Falcon Arrow, right? Yeah, Falcon Arrow. When he hits the Falcon Arrow off the rope and everything, and he's holding Damian, and the referee's counting and everything, Seth looks at the entranceway, because there's definitely supposed to be Drew McIntyre's music hit, but I'm guessing that with all the production errors, we didn't get that, and so it looks sloppy, which sucks. But also it does break the illusion that, you know, something's gonna happen. But as Bully Ray said on the podcast that he has, the Busted Open one, he said that he thinks that it was actually Damian not kicking out because Damian was knocked out from the ripcord knee. Like, he definitely feels like maybe that's what happened, that Damian actually got knocked out. That's why he didn't, you know, kick out. Whatever the case may be, I did enjoy this match for what it was, and I do look forward to when we get it again, legitimately, without any distractions. But it seems as though we're going to be doing Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre in a program, which is cool. It's great. But, yeah. Then following this, we had what I felt like was my match of the night, which was the women's Money in the Bank match. I'm gonna say this, I felt like the spots in this one were much better. Like, no one looked weak in this match. Like, none of the women looked weak. They all had their spots to shine, and, you know, like, I think the one thing I'll complain about is Naomi's entrance. Just, like, the crowd really wants Naomi, but the new Death Rebel theme that she has is just not working. It's just, like, it doesn't hype people up as much as it should. So, you know, I think they need to go back to the drawing board with that one. But I definitely felt like the pop for Tiffany Stratton was amazing, and it definitely showed, you know, that, like, she's very much ready to be a main event player and very much ready to be, you know, in the title picture and everything. So I'm glad that she won the Money in the Bank briefcase, because it's her time. Like, it really is. Like, Tiffany Stratton, just, like, since she was in NXT, she was absolutely a star. And, you know, like, it's just crazy how fast, like, she blew up, and how she just continues to blow up, and how much respect she has for the business, and even just, like, you know, all the work that she does to understand it. Like, you know, you gotta appreciate that, especially with her background. And yeah, like, I really enjoyed the Chelsea Green spot going through the table. That's really high up, so to go from the ring, to go from the ladder to the ring, from the ring to the floor, is pretty crazy. That's really high. So, like, that was amazing. And I also hope that this helps us, like, push Chelsea Green to the top. I mean, like, you look at all the work that Chelsea Green has done in other industries and stuff like that, and, like, she's kind of being wasted a little bit, or, like, she's not being treated like the way that she should be. But I think that what's going to happen is, I think Chelsea Green will have, like, the same type of, like, resurgence that Becky Lynch did, because Becky Lynch in the beginning and stuff like that was nothing like, you know, Becky Lynch the man, you know. So, like, I think we're going to get that with Chelsea Green, and I'm very, very excited for that. I'm also glad we didn't do a 2-year in a row thing with Io. As much as I love Io's guy, I felt like it absolutely went to the right person, so yeah. And now we move on to the main event. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens versus Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and Tama Tonga. I'm gonna be really, really, like, real with you guys. I didn't really care for this match. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just, like, it wasn't really special for me. I felt like this match should have maybe opened the show, personally. But, like, I know, you know, Cody is the world champion and stuff, so you gotta put him in the main event and stuff like that. But I honestly felt like Damian and Seth should have closed out versus this, because, I don't know, this, like, match didn't feel like a good closer for me. It just felt kind of slow, and just kind of didn't really deliver all that much for me. Like, it delivered in solidifying, you know, the new bloodline for sure. But, like, I think I was expecting a little bit more. I was expecting Randy to turn. I was expecting Roman to just pop up out of nowhere at the end, you know, to kind of just take his place back. I felt like, you know, it just kind of closes out on a whimper. And yes, the botches in this match are bad. I can't get over the fact that I've watched the clip of when Tonga Loa is supposed to low blow Kevin Owens. And he fucking hits his own brother in the head. He hits his own brother. He hits his own brother in the head. The first time he goes, like, he literally, like, bops him on the head. It's so funny. But, like, yeah, it was just so funny. Like, I absolutely remember that. And also, like, when I forgot who it was, but they flew and they hit their head, like, they dove for a suicide dive, and they hit their head hard as shit on the table. Like, yeah. but I think the show overall was very good. I felt it delivered in a lot of ways, and it definitely progressed a lot of stories forward, which I feel like that's what they should do. Like, it keeps us invested to follow up with this stuff, and like, a lot of it is long-term storytelling that feels like it's rewarding its viewers, and I'm loving that about WWE right now. Like the whole CM Punk Seth thing, we started that around the time that he came back and everything, and like, we kind of just thought it was done, and yet like, here's a new piece of this puzzle, and I feel like this is going to result in Seth's inevitable heel turn again, because like, Damien's the face now, so he's taking that spot that Seth had, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to all of that. I'm looking forward to everything with Judgment Day and everything that's going on with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. I think Drew McIntyre and CM Punk is probably the program that I am most invested in, but second invested in the Judgment Day stuff, and last night on Raw we got Rhea return, so that was awesome. So we're gonna get to see what happens with Liv Morgan and her. So yeah. But anyway, guys, that's going to